Hey folks, in this video I'm going to do a quick walk around my latest pickup, the Mamiya RB67 medium format camera. I figured I'd make this video to just show you around the camera quickly without going into any major detail. There are tons of really extensive reviews out there, but if you're just trying to get familiar with the camera, some of the main features, stick around for this video. I will say that this is the Mamiya RB67 Pro body mixed with a Pro S back. So some of the features that you have might differ from mine. So let's get into it. Firstly, the waist level viewfinder, which I absolutely love. Just open that up by lifting it towards the lens and everything will pop up. Right there you can see the focusing screen with both landscape and portrait oriented grid lines. There's a switch right on top. Simply slide that to the right and you'll drop down the loop so you can really dial in your focus. And put everything back into place by gently pressing down on the springs. The nameplate right here is actually a switch which allows you to pop off the waist level viewfinder as well as your focusing screen and expose the mirror and internal components. This thing is really modular. Just place it back and slide the plate and you're back in business. From a side view, here you'll find your shutter and mirror lever, as well as one of the focusing dials, the other one being directly on the other side of the camera. If you fully focus in here, you'll find the exposure compensation chart, which is definitely a bit intimidating at first glance. Moving to the rear of the camera on the Pro S film back, you'll have the film advance lever at the top. You'll have your little slot to put in your film stock. At the top, you'll find your lock system for the film back and your film counter, which now says S because it is not loaded, as well as right beside a little red dial, which is really important so that you don't double expose. That's probably the most common mistake that people make, including myself. And when you see this red, that means you have not advanced the film advance lever. Right here on the Pro S, you'll have the double exposure feature, which also seems to fail for quite a few people. Red means that you can take a double exposure and the camera is supposed to fire. When it is not red and it is just a white line, that is supposed to be locked to prevent double exposures, but in my experience, it still happens. So I would more rely on the red dot. You can pop the back off by simply unlocking both the top and the bottom levers like so, and it pops right off. Flipping back around to the front, to take the lens off, you have to advance the shutter lever. If not, it simply will allow you to unlock a bit, but the lens will not be removable. So to do this, simply line up the red dot on the body with the one on the locking ring by rotating counterclockwise. Just like that, and your lens comes off. At the top you'll have your shutter speed, 400th to 1 second, as well as a timer mode, and your aperture dial underneath. The M and X are different flash types. I would leave that on M unless you have one of the older flashes, as well as on the side you have your mirror lockup. Put it back on, just line up the red dots, just like we talked about, and twist clockwise. To actually fire this, you'll want to wind the shutter and mirror, as well as the film advance once you actually have film loaded into this. And just double check that the red mark isn't there so you don't get a double exposure. So yeah, just remember you have one lever and two before you can take your image. There is a shutter lock, which you'll notice by rotating this red dot towards the orange, that'll be locked, and towards the white will be unlocked. Right now it's at the white and it won't fire. That's because your dark slide is still in place. So you would remove that completely. Now the dark slide has to be in, but to a certain degree. If everything is wound and you can't fire, you can actually pull the dark slide out just a bit until a triangle is revealed on the side, and that'll give you just enough gap so that the camera still fires but your film won't be exposed. And that's that. So let me just fire this thing off one more time because I love the sound of this camera. And that's that. Mamiya RB67. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below, and I hope you pick one of these up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.